what is happening right now around 50 Cent is absolutely wild, unbelievable, and something nobody expected, not even his biggest haters. From Beast exploding out of nowhere, to somebody threatening a lawsuit, to celebrities getting dragged into the chaos because of the new Diddy documentary, everything has turned into a giant storm around 50 Cent. And I promise you, if you stick with me until the end of this video, you are going to understand the full picture. So make sure you don't click away, because every minute is important and every new twist is crazier than the one before it. This whole situation exploded the moment 50 Cent stepped into the role of executive producer for the Diddy documentary. Nobody thought that just being an executive producer would bring this level of chaos into his life. The documentary opened a door that had been closed for years, and the moment it cracked open, everybody started giving opinions, telling stories, clapping back, exposing each other, and pointing fingers. And for some reason, people were waiting to see how artists like Ja Rule and comedians like Marlon Wayans would respond. But nobody expected that these responses would turn into heated beefs, disrespect, shade, and even legal threats. One minute, it looked like 50 Cent was winning the entire situation, and the next minute, it looked like the whole world was coming after him. The first big surprise came when Marlon Wayans, someone who normally stays out of rap beefs and keeps a positive image, suddenly became part of the drama. Marlon Wayans, who went to college with Diddy, who has known Diddy since the days when he was still called Puffy, and who also knows the Combs kids, spoke out about the documentary. His comments confused a lot of viewers because he wasn't fully defending Diddy, but he also wasn't going against him. He was simply saying that he knows Diddy personally, he has memories with him, and he doesn't feel comfortable watching everybody drag Diddy now that Diddy is already facing serious consequences. Marlon Wayans said that Diddy might deserve accountability, but he also believes in karma and thinks 50 Cent might get some type of karma after pushing so hard against someone who is already down. But what shocked viewers wasn't the part where Marlon Wayans talked about karma or being uncomfortable watching people attack Diddy. It was the part where he said that documentaries can be edited however the producers want. Marlon said that anybody can create a narrative in a documentary. He said you can take interviews, add music, add dramatic cuts, and suddenly viewers believe things that may not even be true. When he made that point, he wasn't saying the documentary was fake, but he was warning people that documentaries can manipulate viewers, and that reality shows and documentaries are not always reality. This comment rubbed 50 Cent the wrong way. 50 Cent, being who he is, petty, sharp, and ready to clap back, felt like Marlon Wayans didn't need to say all that. And instead of backing down, Marlon Wayans got talking, kept explaining his personal connection to Diddy, and made it seem like he was trying to soften the blow of the documentary. Then things took a huge turn when Marlon Wayans said something that many fans thought crossed the line. He claimed that 50 Cent might be closer to the Diddy situation than he thinks. He said that 50 Cent might have some karma coming his way and that he needs to be careful. The moment he said that, social media exploded. Fans started tagging his consent, saying, "You're not gonna let this slide, right?" And of course, 50 Cent didn't. 50 Cent went straight to Instagram, posted a picture of Marlon Wayans dressed as White, the character from the movie White Chicks, with a caption telling Marlon to keep his name out of his mouth. It was classic 50, petty, fast, and with a sting, but the beef didn't stop there. Marlon Wayans clapping back and posted an edited picture of 50 Cent's face on the 12 Years a Slave cover, basically turning this situation into a roast battle. And that was funny to some people, but even Marlon knew that roasting 50 is risky because 50 Cent is one of the most relentless beef starters and grudge holders in the entire entertainment industry. And while fans were laughing at the back and forth between Marlon and 50 Cent, things got even crazier when Ja Rule entered the situation. Ja Rule always has a history with 50 Cent, going all the way back to the beef in Philly 2000s. So as moment like 50 Cent got attention for the Diddy documentary, Ja Rule jumped in and accused 50 Cent of being a snitch. He called him a rat. He made fun of his nose, his suits, everything about him. What confused many fans was that Ja Rule said 50 was dry snitching by exposing crimes committed by Diddy.
And viewers were like, how is exposing someone for hurting women or children considered snitching? The reaction was so negative toward Ja Rule that he doubled down and claimed like Diddy's wrongdoing shouldn't be used as entertainment. But then Ja Rule did something that shocked everyone even more. He announced that he himself was going to work on a documentary about 50 Cent. And this confused a lot of people, because if exposing somebody in a documentary is quote snitching, then wouldn't Ja Rule be planning to do the same thing he accused 50 Cent of? Ja Rule then switched his explanation and said he wasn't defending Diddy. He said he only wanted to highlight 50 Cent's hypocrisy. And then he started listing old allegations against 50 Cent involving Daphne Joy and a woman named Tatted Up Holly. Even though some of those accusations were never proven, Ja Rule kept using the word allegedly, which made everything seem even more unreliable. And Inad started saying Ja Rule looked desperate, because instead of holding Diddy accountable, he was trying to drag 50 Cent down to Diddy's level. Meanwhile, Marlon Wayans was still getting dragged online for calling Diddy a good guy, even after Diddy admitted to putting hands on Cassie. And viewers kept reminding people that Diddy wasn't only accused of hurting Cassie. Daphne Joy stepped forward, and her situation showed that even when Diddy apologized years ago, he continued putting hands on women. So for fans, Marlon Wayans' attempts to soften Diddy's image felt strange, out of place, and way too forgiving. Then things took another wild turn when 50 Cent posted a clip of Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, telling the story about walking on and Diddy and Ja Rule in a room doing things that made Ja Rule's cousin angry. According to Gene Deal, he had to physically stop the cousin from going into the room, and when he threw the cousin against the piano, Diddy and Ja Rule ran out of the room completely naked and holding cows. She had said the cousin made a comment about freaking, and the story became one of the most shocking allegations connected to Ja Rule. Ja Rule was furious and said the story was a lie. He said he was smarter than that and accused 50 Cent of slander and defamation, announcing about a lawsuit was on the way. But here's the thing, 50 Cent didn't make the claim. He simply reposted a publicly accessible content. He didn't say it was true. He didn't say Ja Rule did anything. He only said, now I see why they're mad. And legal experts pointed out that it's extremely hard to win a defamation case as a public figure when someone merely reposts a publicly accessible content without claiming it as fact. And this is where things get even deeper and more complicated, because the more the documentary spreads, the more people are coming forward with fact checks. Lauren LaRosa from the Breakfast Club said one part of the documentary was false, the claim about Biggie's funeral expenses. There are also questions about whether Justin Combs is truly Wolf's son, especially after Jane Deal admitted that he burst that out it because Music Hawk and ordered money. So even though the documentary is unordained, not all of it is confirmed fact, but the parts that are real, like Cassie being assaulted on camera and Daphne Joy being hurt after Biggie had already apologized, are more than enough to paint a very dark picture. And this leads us back to the biggest question. Why is 50 Cent getting hate for exposing someone who clearly hurt so many people? Why is accountability being labeled as snitching? Why are celebrities defending Diddy instead of the victims, most of whom are Black women and men? And why is the community editing that calling out abuse is betrayal instead of justice? This is where the situation reveals something deeper happening in the culture. Some people think being pro-Black is protecting all rap people no matter what they've done. Others believe being pro-Black means holding Black people accountable so the community becomes safer and stronger. And when you see people attacked by 50 Cent for exposing a serial abuser like Diddy, you start to wonder which side they really are on. But before we go deeper, make sure you don't click away, because the ending of this situation is still unfolding, and the last part of this video is gonna break down the biggest twist of all, Ja Rule's lawsuit, how real it might be, and whether 50 Cent could actually face legal trouble. So watch this video until the end, because everything is about to connect. As this whole situation keeps spreading, it becomes clear that this isn't just about another documentary anymore. It's about relationships, history, ego, image and use attention by bursting into open. And when you look at everyone involved, 50 Cent, Diddy, Ja Rule, Marlon Wayans, Cassie, Daphne Joy, Gene Deal, Diggy, Tarple, Dicky, Tupac, Just a Ghost means I have to, and even people like Warren the Rose of fact-checking Where's the Documentary. You start to realize that the entertainment world is built on secrets, connections, and past decisions that eventually come into the light. This is why so many people are emotional, defensive, scared, or angry right now. When Ja Rule saw 50 Cent posting the Gene Deal video of that Wallace story about him and Diddy being allegedly caught in a roof together, that's when Ja's anger reached a whole new level. Even though Gene Deal was the one who told this story years ago, Ja Rule acted like 50 Cent paid it out himself. Ja said it was a lie. And then Ja Rule said,
he said it was defamation. He said 50 Cent was trying to embarrass him on purpose. And Ja Rule began promising a lawsuit. But here's the thing, you can't really win a defamation case against someone who just reposted someone else's story, especially when the story has been online for years, and especially when you are a public figure like Ja Rule. Public figures have to prove actual malice, which means proving that the person who posted it knew it was false and intended to harm you. And 50 Cent didn't even say the story was true. He didn't add any captions claiming it was factual. All he said was, now I see why they mad. And even though that comment was messy, petty, and classic 50 Cent behavior, legally it's not strong enough to count as defamation. But Ja Rule doesn't care about the legal details. He cares about his pride. He cares about the embarrassment. And he wants to hit back in any way he can. That's why he announced that he might start making his own documentary about 50 Cent. But fans immediately pointed out the hypocrisy. If 50 Cent is a rat for doing a documentary on Diddy, then wouldn't Ja Rule also be a rat for doing one on 50 Cent? And Ja didn't have a real answer for that question. He just kept shouting selective outrage and saying people are ignoring 50 Cent's flaws. But the more Ja Rule posted, the more he looked like someone trying to drag 50 Cent down instead of someone genuinely caring about a deeper issue. Another strange thing about Ja Rule's reaction is how emotional he gets every time 50 Cent is involved. Fans notice that Ja never reacts this strongly to anyone else, but with 50 Cent, it's like the past comes back instantly. The old beefs, the old battles, the old career wounds that never healed. Some fans even believe that Ja Rule still hasn't recovered from how 50 Cent destroyed his rap career years ago. Whether it's true or not, Ja's reactions these days make a lot of people think that 50 Cent still has a powerful psychological hold over him. Meanwhile, Marlon Wayans tried to soften the tension by saying he wasn't trying to beef with 50 Cent. He tried to laugh things off, joke about the situation, and say he was coming from a place of humanity. But 50 Cent isn't the type of person who lets things go easily. And fans know that 50 Cent holds grudges for years, even decades. Marlon Wayans said he wasn't choosing sides and he wasn't trying to disrespect anyone. But in this situation, even neutral comments can spark drama because the topic is so sensitive. And Marlon's comments about karma and over-punishing someone who's already down rubbed people the wrong way. Because Diddy isn't some innocent person who made one mistake. He is someone facing serious accusations from multiple people. And speaking of Diddy, even though he hasn't spoken publicly about the documentary, his name keeps coming up. Some people are defending him, like Marlon Wayans. Some are calling him a monster. Some are saying the documentary exaggerated things. Others are saying it wasn't harsh enough. And with new information coming out daily, the entire situation keeps growing. Cassie's assault video was already a turning point for many viewers because it proved that something very serious happened, something that wasn't just rumor or speculation. And then when it was revealed in court documents that Diddy allegedly put hands on Daphne Joy even after apologizing to Cassie, people realized that the situation is deeper than anyone originally thought. But no matter how much evidence appears, no matter how many victims speak out,
no matter how many stories surface, there are always people who defend Diddy. And that's when you start to see the deeper problem, the tribalism. People defending someone just because they're Black, people protecting someone just because they are famous or powerful, people ignoring victims because the accused is someone they admire. That's why the culture feels divided right now. Some people say Diddy needs to be held accountable. Some people say he deserves protection. But what about the victims? What about people like Cassie, Daphne Joy, the Kid Cudi's car explosion story, and countless others who claim they were mistreated? If being pro-Black means ignoring victims who are also Black, then something is seriously wrong. And that brings us back to 50 Cent. Even if 50 made the documentary for attention, or money, or business reasons, or to hurt Diddy, the truth is that the documentary still gave victims a voice. It still exposed things people needed to know. It still forced conversations that people used to avoid. Even if 50 wasn't doing it to be a hero, the end results don't have some people feel seen. And because of that, calling 50 Cent a sellout or a snitch feels unfair to many viewers. A lot of fans are saying, if someone hurt women, children, or innocent people, exposing them is not snitching. That is called accountability. But Ja Rule doesn't want to hear that. Marlon Wayans doesn't want to hear that. And some celebrities who have connections to Diddy don't want to hear that either.
So instead of focusing on the harm Diddy allegedly caused, people are attacking the person who exposed it, which is 50 Cent. And that's why the backlash feels so strong. But trust me, the craziest part of this whole situation is still coming up. So make sure you stay until the end because everything is about to tie together. The last section explains the legal angle and how Ja Rule's lawsuit threat could actually backfire. Now here's something that most viewers don't realize. If Ja Rule actually goes through with this lawsuit, he might end up exposing even more embarrassing details about himself. Because in a defamation case, everything gets examined. Your past, your credibility, your reputation, everything. And if Ja Rule opens that door, 50 Cent's lawyers will be allowed to bring up old stories, old interviews, old rumors, and anything that proves Ja Rule's reputation was already damaged long before 50 Cent reposted that Gene Deal clip. And that means Ja Rule might accidentally give 50 Cent more power. The internet already has memes, jokes, and old stories about Ja Rule. If lawyers start putting all of that into documents, things could get even worse for him. And the truth is, Ja Rule probably knows this. That's why he hasn't filed anything yet. He keeps talking about a lawsuit, but nothing official has happened. And a lot of fans believe he's only using the lawsuit threat as a way to stay relevant and keep his name in the conversation. But the moment 50 Cent responded to Ja Rule by posting that G-Deal video, fans knew the old beef had returned. And because the story in that video involved Diddy, it dragged another generation of drama into the present. That's why this situation feels so big, because it connects old beefs, new beefs, personal emotions, and a huge documentary that shocked the world. And listen, we're not done yet. More twists are coming, and if you want to hear how this all ends, make sure you watch until the final part of this video, because the final part goes into the biggest question of all. Is 50 Cent actually in danger of facing the worst news ever because of all this drama, or is the backlash just noise that won't stick? Now, this whole thing with Ja Rule threatening a lawsuit against 50 Cent has made a lot of people wonder if 50 is actually facing real danger, because the title 50 Cent just received the worst news ever is not an exaggeration when you think about how much pressure is building from every direction. On one side, you have Marlon Wayans speaking about Cardmate, or another side, you have Ja Rule pulling a gold claims and saying he's ready to take 50 to court, and then you have people online attacking 50 for exposing Diddy in the first place. That was a lot of heat on one man at the same time, even for someone as confident, bold, and unbothered as 50 Cent. But let's break this down clearly so viewers could understand why this moment might actually be dangerous for 50. Not in a physical way, because 50 is always protected and stays aware, but dangerous in the sense of reputation,
public opinion and the legal consequences. Even if those consequences don't stake, the stress of dealing with them is still real. 50 Cent is used to fighting with rappers, comedians, producers, and even actors. Like fighting a wave of a combined drama from multiple celebrities at once is something even he doesn't face often. And one of the biggest parts of this pressure is coming from how people are now trying to flip narratives. Instead of talking about Diddy's action toward Cassie, Daphne Joy, Kid Cudi, and others, they're trying to turn the spotlight on 50 Cent and say, here's the problem. That is the kind of public shift that can damage someone's name if it goes too far. The more Ja Rule throws accusations, and the more Marlon Wayans talks about 50 kicking someone who's already down, the more viewers start questioning the real motive behind the documentary. The funny thing is, even if 50 Cent did documentary for business reasons, he still did what many people were scared to do. He exposed something powerful. And anytime you expose someone powerful, you can expect backlash. That's why people like Gene Deal, who has been speaking out for years, kept telling folks that the industry protects certain people. Gene Deal said many times that for years, nobody dared to speak about Diddy because he was connected to the right people, had money, had influence, and had secrets that kept others quiet. And now that 50 Cent is putting everything into the spotlight, the people who used to stay quiet are panicking. That panic is part of why Ja Rule is so loud right now. But the deeper layer of this situation is what people keep calling selective outrage. And that's one of the most surprising things happening right now. It seems like some celebrities think that if someone is black and powerful, then the community should protect them, even if they are hurting other black people.
That mindset is dangerous and it's harmful to victims. If people care more about protecting the abuser than protecting the person who was hurt, then justice doesn't exist. And many fans are tired of seeing celebrities defend men who have done wrong just because they knew them personally. That's why people got upset with Marlon Wayans when he said he didn't want to keep throwing Diddy under the bus. Viewers said, throw him under the bus. He threw himself in front of the bus. Meanwhile, 50 Cent isn't afraid of backlash. He never has been. But what he didn't expect was so many celebrities teaming up against him at the same time. You have Marlon Wayans, Ja Rule, people on social media, and even some fans trying to discredit him. And remember, this documentary wasn't even something 50 Cent directed. He was the executive producer, which means he helped bring it to life but didn't control every detail. But because he was the face behind it, he's taking all the heat. Now let's talk about how all of this could become the worst news ever for 50 Cent if things go wrong. One major issue is the legal side. If Ja Rule actually files a lawsuit, even a weak one, it can still bring unwanted attention to 50. And the moment lawyers get involved, they start digging. They look through old interviews, old social media posts, old rumors, old cases, everything. Even if 50 Cent wins the case, the process itself is draining. Lawyers, court dates, paperwork, media attention, it all becomes a storm that lasts for months or years. And that's the type of chaos nobody wants, especially someone as busy as 50 Cent. He's running shows, movies, businesses, tours, and a whole TV empire. A lawsuit slows everything down. Not only that, but Ja Rule's accusations about 50 Cent being an abuser, even though he had to use the word allegedly every 5 seconds, can still make people start conversations online. And anytime the internet starts talking, rumors spread fast. Ja Rule dug up old claims involving Daphne Joy, even though the domestic violence charge was dropped, and 50 only pleaded no contest to vandalism. But Ja Rule didn't care about the truth. He cared about throwing dirt. And dirt spreads easily in today's world. This is where the real danger appears. When someone attacks you with old claims, even if they were clear to prove it false, some people don't look up the facts. They just read the headline, they read the accusation, and they run with it. That can hurt a person's reputation badly.
So if Ja Rule pushes this narrative hard enough, it might create a shadow around 50 Cent that wasn't there before. And that's the kind of thing 50 Cent hates, because his image is built on being strong, fearless, and in control. On top of that, Marlon Wayans hinting at karma is coming for 50 adds more pressure. Even if Marlon wasn't trying to attack him, the statement still put a subtle target on 50's back. People start asking, what does Marlon know? What is he hinting at? What is he trying to say without saying it? And when fans start asking questions like that, the drama goes even bigger. But the truth is, 50 Cent has faced way worse. He survived being shot 9 times. He survived losing his record deals. He survived being blackballed. He survived the early 2000s rap war. And he survived countless beefs with powerful people, including Diddy himself. So even if Ja Rule wins lawsuit, even if Marlon Wayans keeps talking, even if social media tries to flip the narrative, 50 Cent knows how to handle pressure. But that doesn't mean the situation isn't stressable. And the more this drama grows, the more it becomes clear that someone is trying to damage 50 Cent's name for a very important moment, right when the documentary is gaining attention and shaking the industry. And the craziest part of all this is that the documentary isn't being done growing. More episodes, more interviews, more stories, more victims, they're all coming. And every new release will bring new backlash, new reactions, new beefs, new arguments. So this might actually be just the beginning of something even bigger. And trust me, you do not want to miss the next part. Because in part 4, we're going to talk about the moment that really pushed 50 Cent all to the edge. The moment that made him clap back harder than ever. The moment that showed he is ready for war. So make sure you stay with me to the end, because everything is about to get even more shocking.